Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the October student leadership session. My name is Gabby. I am from the Poly campus.
And my name is Alex. I'm from the Tempe campus. And today we're going to be talking about event management and Sun Devil Sync.
So just the agenda we're going to go through. So most of you have probably seen Sun Devil Sync kind of has a new look. So we're doing these leadership sessions to kind of give you some tools to navigate them. And then we're going to talk about event management, some tips and tricks. And then talking about what it means to use Sun Devil Sync the day of your event and then after your event as well.
Yeah, so jumping into the Sun Devil Sync overview, as Gabby said, there is a new version of Sun Devil Sync available for students, advisors, and all ASU members. So on Sun Devil Sync, you can pretty much make events. You can look at different events that you want to attend, different organizations you want to attend, and be a part of as well. So I will share my screen now. So here is the new Sun Devil Sync. It is a little bit the same as the old one. Not too many changes. The only major difference is now the user drawer is on the left-hand side rather than the top right corner. So it has different things to go home, see different events. This tab right here, the events tab, can show events that you have RSVP'd for, also events that are open to all students, stuff that you want to attend as well. And then organizations here, you can join different organizations, start new organizations, and see what's available for all 4 campuses. And then each of these different tabs have different ways to connect with different students. Now I will show you how to create an event. So say that you have the puzzle club and you want to make a puzzle mingling event. So in your event tab on your organization page, you want to click the create event page, and let's just type in puzzle mixer, and then you want to pick a theme. I would say more social because you're interacting with different members, and then you want to put a little description. And then that description just tells you what the club and the event is about. Obviously, you want to add a little bit more words than I did, but stuff like that. And then down here, it says time and place. You want to make sure that if you're having more than one date, make sure it's a recurring event. So in order to do that, you can add another date, and then Sun Devil Sync will create a different event. It's like title underneath the same event, but it's a different date, obviously, but it's like still tied to the same event. And then you can add locations. So we can put Memorial Union, and then you can put the address. And usually Sun Devil Sync will give you a map. Here it is. So it gives you the map on the Tempe campus, showing you that the Memorial is there. Obviously, you want to put a time and date, stuff like that. And then, like I said, if you have different locations as well, you could put the student pavilion on the Tempe campus, stuff like that. I forget the address for that one, so I won't put an address. But this event visibility tab is also very important as well. You want to make sure your event is catered to certain populations. So, for example, the Programming and Activities Board on the Tempe campus and university-wide, they have Sparky's Touchdown Tailgate. That's more of a public event, so students obviously are always welcome to come, but a lot of community members also attend. But if you're having like a club meeting and you only want club members to join, you can put in organization members only, and so that only sends the event to your members in your organization that are registered. And then if you want to have a public event sponsored by your organization, this will be students and staff at Sun Devil Sync. So every ASU student has access to Sun Devil Sync, including faculty and staff and all advisors. And my experience of creating events, I also like to add extra tags so people can see your event more widely. So we want to put in-person event. We can do, what else can we do? Student engagement event, We could do student organization events, stuff like that. And then obviously we have some perks, so like free food, free stuff. And then usually some events, usually sponsored by the academic units at ASU, you can get academic credit. Just go ahead and check with your professors and stuff like that if that's an issue or if that's something that you're interested in. And then who can RSVP? Usually everybody on Sun Devil Sync can RSVP. If it's clicked as anyone, so anyone who sees the event can do it. If you want to do only certain people, you can add certain emails, stuff like that. If you don't want any RSVPs, you can click that box. And then anybody who just sees the event can come based on the time and date. And then Gabby will talk about this a little bit later in the post-event section, but here you can add like a questionnaire to all the people that RSVP'd or checked in at the event, saying, hey, what would you like to see at the event? What did you enjoy? Obviously, the questions are customized, so you can create any questions that you want, and it'll be sent out to everybody who's checked in and RSVP'd. That option is also optional. Here, everyone should probably should upload a cover photo so that your event is unique. So for different examples, the Bollywood night the Indian Student Association is having, they have their own graphic. CIC Gathering has their own graphic. Different events have different graphics. You just want to make sure you're in line with the ASU brand guide. And obviously you want to make sure it fits the dimension. So 1300 pixels by 780 pixels. If you are used to Canva or Photoshop, you can create different dimensions using those two apps. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for the event. And then once you submit complete submission, you land at this page. This is where your picture will go. The puzzle mixer, that's what you titled it. It just gives you a breakdown of what you put into the form. And then when people RSVP, it'll show up here how many RSVP'd. And then when you are at the event, you can scan people. Gabby will talk about that a little bit more right now. So once you scan people, you can track attendance, stuff like that. Yeah, and this is where everything goes for the meeting.
Awesome. Sweet. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so yeah. So like Alex said, you can do like the recurring events, the meetings, the one additional dates, be specific with your event details, and then the marketing. We'll go a little bit after that, or the next slide is, oops, sorry. There we go. So the pre-event, so things you need to know and things you need to have in order to create your event in Sun Devil Sync. So Alex did a great job going through that. And so here's the things that you just want to make a list of, check off as you go to make sure that you have all the things that you need to have in order to create an event. Because like you saw in his walkthrough, he didn't have a location, so it dinged him. So it'll like the system is smart and it'll tell you what you need to do, but it's good to have all these things together. So first, you're going to need your title and description, and then also what kind of category you want to have it in. So is it a service event? Is it a community event? Is it a sporting event? That type of thing. Your location and your date and time. You're also going to want to do your event filters and your categories. So that's the, like, is it a general event, in-person event, student engagement event, Sun Devil Unite, that type of thing. And then filter through if you can get free stuff, free food, and then the credit portion, like Alex said. And then so then the next section after that is that RSVP information and the pre-event questions. So let's say that you are hosting an event and you want to give a t-shirt out to everyone who does come. So then you can put in there like what your t-shirt size is. So you make sure you have enough t-shirts for the students that attend. Maybe you're ordering food and there's dietary restrictions. You can put that kind of question in there. And then this is also good for if you're doing an event that's maybe off campus and maybe you need to provide transportation, the RSVP information can help you know how many students are planning to attend so that you can plan accordingly. And then the next section is that post-event questions like Alex was saying. So it's important to like maybe add a couple of questions in there so that after your event, the students that checked in and that RSVP to your event can get some info. You can get some feedback from them based on, you know, how the event went or whatever questions you're putting in there, if there's specific details you want to know. And then also the event photo marketing piece. It's really important that you do have that on there, like Alex said, to kind of make your event a little bit more unique, but also if you're posting flyers like around campus or on your Instagram page or social media, having that same kind of photo or same kind of graphic kind of will help students like resonate that these two events are the same and like that type of thing. And like he said, it's cropped, it's a 4x7, but on there it does have the pixels like Alex showed you. So in Canva, if you do like a Facebook banner, that seems to fit the best if you're going from Sun Devil Sync and that type of thing. So that's a little tip for you. So the day of the event, some things that are important for Sun Devil Sync. So you use your event pass to track the attendance. So if you've been to an ASU event, you have probably had to have your event pass. So it's important that you know where that is, and that is at the top right-hand corner of your Sun Devil Sync page. You click on your initial, it drops down, and there's an event pass, and that is the event code that is, or event pass that is specific to you. And so when we scan that, we know that you attended that event. So when you are checking in students or tracking attendance for your event, if you click the manage event on your Sun Devil Sync page, this photo here down at the bottom shows you what that view looks like. So there's an event attendance section and there's an access code. That's the code that you're going to put in the check-in app, which is like this. So it is called Campus Labs Check-in. So it's blue with a little person and a green check. So if you download that and then you go into the app, you will take that code that's there and you will put it into the app, enter your event code, that's what it says there, and then you'll start session. It will prompt you for your ASU login information, so your ASU right and your password, do a login, and then it'll bring you to the second page type thing, which is the actual event, and then the attendance tracking. So you'll just hit start scanning, and then there's a scan option that you'll scan students' QR codes. And then if they, for some reason, don't have a QR code, they can't figure it out, maybe they don't have their phone's dead, you can enter, if you hit the search button, you can search by their ASU email. So that's another way that you can check students in. And then you can also look at the attendees on the app of who has attended, and it shows you how many students are like currently at your event, how many current students have come through your event, that type of thing. So that's really important. And then as I said, there's a online way that you can use the check-in app as well. If you did on your laptop, there's a Campus Labs for that as well.
And just adding onto the check-in app as well, keeping attendance like that is really crucial as well, especially if you're ordering food with appropriations, since a lot of our business offices, especially the USG teams on each campus, undergrad student government teams, when a club applies for appropriations and it usually involves food, they like to have attendance list of who attended and who was potentially just eating the food. So they just break it down for each student, and they look at the numbers based on how many students attended, stuff like that. So it's really critical that you try to take attendance. Obviously it's different if you're paying for the food out of your own money, but usually with appropriation money that is given by USG on each campus, you must turn in an attendance list. So this is really helpful. Sun Devil Sync allows you to also export the attendance list as a Google sheet or an Excel sheet, which is really nice, and it breaks it down whether student ID numbers or ASU right numbers. Yeah, and I think all student, or at least officers 1, 2, and 3, and the advisors have access to pull those numbers. So I would just make sure that each club officer has access. If not, you can reach out to your campus's org representative. Oh my gosh, org liaison, that's what it's called.
Yep. Yeah, so this track your attendance blue button, that is where you are able to pull those that have attended on Sun Devil Sync. So thanks, Alex. All right, so post-event. So after you have your event, it's successful, you had so many people come through, you have no food and no swag left, it was awesome. Now you're gonna kind of do some post-event checklists, kind of get some feedback, what information does Sun Devil Sync give to you after your event. So like we talked about those RSVP surveys, so after the fact of your event, and then you send that information. That'll automatically send those questions out that you created, like, what did you like about the event? Who, yeah, like what could be changed, that type of thing. That will be there. And then obviously, like he said, the event attendance list is there as well. And then tracking numbers of how many students actually did attend your event. And then, so preparing for your next event, that's again, the same thing with those post-event surveys. So you can use those, but then also it's just really important for you as an organization and your team to kind of come together after your event and make like a pros and cons list, what went well, what didn't go well. Maybe you needed to have more setup time. Maybe you needed to make sure that you forgot to make sure you had extra trash cans for an event, that type of thing. Just kind of going through that and using that to make your next event better. So it's really important that you kind of do that like walkthrough with your club and your organization, your advisors, maybe the volunteers, other organizations that you're partnering with, that type of thing. That way you can make sure like what you've learned and make sure that your next event is more successful. And then also it's really important if you want to keep in touch with those students that did attend your event. So maybe it's a recruiting event and you want to make sure that you reach out to those students that did attend your event. All that information is located in Sun Devil Sync if you use that check-in app, and it's important that you reach out to them so that, especially if they're students that you've seen a couple of times at your events, if you like recognize their face, but also that tracking does allow you to like aggregate and see that there is, you know, Joe Smith came to 5 of your events, maybe he wants to join your club. So that's something that's a resource there. Okay, I think that is it. So if you're interested in a copy of this presentation or you have any specific questions for us, you can reach out to Alex or myself. Our email is there. And then we also have a YouTube channel that Student Engagement at ASU that has a bunch of other videos and content for you to review of any session that you might not have been able to join us in person or online for. But also it's just a great resource for club officers or anybody who's involved in clubs and organizations to kind of get some information on best practices and best way to manage your organization.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, here's also the general contacts for each orgs team on each campus. So like I said before, I'm from the Tempe campus and Gabby's from the Poly campus, but if you are a downtown and west organization, those are the contacts for those teams. So if you have any questions, any general questions as well, or regarding this presentation, feel free to reach out to us or the campus representatives. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.